It's time for another Dice Tower review with the Chief, Bart Brunsheen.
Hey, it's the Chief from the Dice Tower. Today we're going to talk about a really weird game, at least weird to me, called Igloo Pop. The designers are Heinz Meister and Klaus Zock. Very odd game, 15 to 20 minutes, 3 to 6 players. It handles little kids, I'd say 5 and up. What it really is I call it like a sensing game. You're using your senses, in this case, kind of your sense of feel or touch to judge these little tiny glass beads. They're almost the size of a BB that are put inside the igloos, and they range from 2 of them up to 13. And you're trying to listen and kind of gauge how many are in there. You're trying to feel the weight of the igloo to kind of judge. So I think this is 2, by the way. Yeah, it is 2. There's a little sticker on the bottom that you're not allowed to look at until you go for the reveal. And I'll get into showing you the mechanics up close, but let's see if I can find a heavy one. So you can kind of pick up a little bit of the difference. But what this really, here's what I use this for real quick, just to explain. With kids, it works real well because, I mean, here's this game that's actually using their senses, and it's got a fun tactile feel to it. And I'll go a little bit with a slower pace when we're playing, and we'll even sometimes kind of work together a little bit with the younger ones. I'm not telling them what I think it is, just telling them, hey, you know, there's a card. What you're trying to do is match the beads to numbers that are on cards that are circling the igloos. Again, I'll go into a tight shot in a bit. Now with adults, it's a little bit more on the fly. You know, this is almost like a party game for me with adults. Love it if there's some wine or other adult beverages out. It's got that noise factor already kind of in it. And so that's kind of the niche that it fits into me. And it's just really novel. This is unique to me. I can't really think of any other game where you're using kind of your senses of weight and sound to determine the number of objects that are in something. And so it's extremely novel when you get someone that doesn't even play board games over. So, and then it's still got that tactical feel, you know, that strategic level of what is which and how you're going to block somebody, which is a nice deal. But let's go in and take a look, and you'll see what I'm talking about. General setup, just imagine we had 3 players. These are called like thalers or thalens or something. I'm going to call them tokens. All right, little tokens. The igloos, just so you know, each one of them has little beads inside of them. The beads, of course, this one means it has 3. They'll have between 2 and 13 beads inside. And let me see. Trying to find one with a lot. All right, here's 12. Now, all right, and you can feel the heavy weight difference between the 2. All right, and that's the gist of it. So it's the weight and the sound of it. Now, oops, gameplay. These cards are going to come out. What you do is you surround your little igloos with 9 cards. All right, and play, and I've adjusted this different ways with kids. Sometimes I'll take actual turns, but I like simultaneous play, and this version or this game is perfect for that. So we got 3 people sitting here. You can only pick up 1 igloo at a time, and when you pick that igloo up, before I go shake another one, I can never peek. Okay, there's no peeking involved, but I'm shaking it, and if I'm not sure what it is, I can just put it back in, and then I can pick up one other one and check it. Well, let's say I'm shaking this, and I think, you know what, that sounds like 2 or maybe 3. This card has the numbers 2, 3, or 4. Now it's got a range, so it's only worth 1 point. The amount of little Eskimos that are on the card or how many points it's worth. So, but I'm pretty confident I got a 2 or a 3. So I go ahead, I take my little token, I put it in, and I'm gonna put it on there. Now if I get it right, I'll have a chance of winning it. The way these cards work real quick, 2, 3, or 4. Let's say all 3 players each put an igloo on there, and we all get it right. The card, or the victory point, which is the card, would go to the person that had actually picked 4, so the highest number on the card. If there was no 4 on it, of course it defaults to 3, and so on. If someone had put on a number 5 igloo, then it's not represented here. They didn't get their guess right, and their token won't even return to them, because when you get it right, your token returns to you. When you get it wrong, your token is tossed into the box. Or if someone on the card gets it right, well, let me just set one up. So let's say a guy put his little token on this. He's hoping to get 12 or 13. Now, I just picked at random, so I wasn't really trying, but let's see. 5. I didn't get it. So what happens is he does not get this back. All right, this goes into the box. And at the end of the game, your victory points are the number of Eskimos you have and the number of little tokens that you have. And to show, you can also get other players' tokens. You can't use them to put out, obviously, into other igloos later on, but they still count as points for you at the end of the game. So let's resolve this. We thought this was a 2, 3, or 4. Let's see, I had red 5. This, all right, is going to go off to the side. Obviously, I picked wrong. Here's a 2. So if no one else has a 3 or a 4, I'm going to win that. Here's a 7. So that goes back in, and we got a 4. So green actually ends up winning. My 2 was correct. So for that one, I am going to get my little token back. But this person who has green is going to get their token back. They're going to get the card, and they're going to win the other 2 tokens that were completely wrong. These will count as victory points for them later. So you've got to be real cautious, well, slightly cautious when you're making your guesses. You really want to be right, or at least, you can assure yourself, if I'm not the highest, if I at least hit the range, I won't lose my token, I'll get it back. Otherwise, these are either going in the box, or worse yet, in this case, green got it right, and they were the max, and they're going to win these tokens, and it's going to help them in their final victory point total. A real nice tug-of-war, push and pull going on. If you don't like the toy aspect of a game, that's probably the only time I don't think this will quite fit for an individual or their group. I love this aspect of it. I mean, it's just so unique and different. I don't care about the storyline behind it or anything, but it's so easy to set up, play it. You can kind of tweak the rules a little bit, not the rules in terms of, feeling and placing on cards, but in the turn orders. I like when I've got adults going and it's fun. You're still only picking up 1, but there's a lot of chatter at the table, and it can get robust, to say the least. And with kids, I like to slow it down a little bit, make sure they can hear and kind of judge. And when I do the reveal, I do it in a real positive way so they don't feel knocked down. I usually talk about how close they got. Or when they get it right, I'm just like, wow, and they get real excited. And some of them want to do the reveal themselves, and they get into throwing in the ones that are wrong back into the box. And it's just that high-end tactile feel. So Igloo Pop, simple, fun, very unique and different. It's Chief. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.